Well, we should just call it I Prevail Radio now because the guys have taken over the WAAF studio. How are you?
Doing great.
Eric and Dylan from I Prevail have joined me in the studio. You guys headlining the House of Blues tonight.
We sure are.
It's weird to see you here in Boston because I met you a few months ago. We were just talking about it in Vegas.
Yep.
And you were getting ready to release the album, and you were talking to all of these radio people, and it was snowing in Vegas.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
You guys are from the Detroit area, right? So you're used to that kind of weather. Is it not weird when you see people in Vegas freaking out over snow?
Yeah, we were up eating up in a hotel up top floor or something, and like there's big, the big glass wall, and we see the snow, and we're just eating. We're like, oh yeah, it's snowing. Then we see all these people like face pressed up against the glass, taking pictures, taking selfies. Like, what are you crazy people doing? It's just snow. And then we're like, oh wait, it's Vegas. Holy
yeah, I know. They're not used to that.
Yeah.
I was just there last week. It was 106 degrees.
Oh.
Unbelievable.
And I was like, last time I was here, it was snowing outside. Like, get me the hell out of here. This place is literally killing my soul. So how are you? Welcome to Boston. Thanks for coming to the WAAF studio and hanging out with me today.
We're doing great. It's great to be here. We're right by Fenway today. It's cool stuff to check out.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit because, whenever anybody plays at the House of Blues, you're, of course, right behind the Green Monster.
Yeah.
It's either a place that you go, oh, my God, I really want to go in there, take pictures in front of, I can't believe this is Fenway, or you're a Yankees fan and you want to pee on it. So I'm assuming you guys did not pee on the Monster.
No.
Quite the contrary. We were here a couple of years ago, and I somehow got in there. I don't know if this is going to get me in trouble, but
it's okay. Nobody will hear the story. I won't tell anybody.
Somehow I got in there after hours when it was closed and took my own little tour in there.
You broke into Fenway Park.
The doors were open. Did they not expect me to just walk in and take a picture by myself?
Front page of the Herald tomorrow. I Prevail breaks into Fenway.
Way to go, Eric.
What do you mean the doors were open? Did you go around and jiggle all the handles to see which one was open?
We opened for, I'm not even going to say the tour because I don't want to get...
We would all do it if we could. Okay.
Some years ago, we were opening on a tour, and so we got done first, and my family was there, so I went and hung out with them, and we walked by Fenway, and they had some event during the day. I don't know what it was. It wasn't a game, but they were all leaving. When we were packing up and getting all our stuff out of the venue while the last band was playing, whatever event was going on was like packing up and leaving, and they were wearing like walkies and stuff like that. So I grabbed one of our walkies and just walked in there. And while they were tearing down like tables and chairs, I took a lap in the park and
just act like you're supposed to be there.
Exactly. Someone stops me like, oh, I didn't know.
The walkie-talkie. That's what got you in. That's all that.
You gotta look like one of them,
Surprisingly, you can get into a lot of places
with a walkie-talkie.
I don't know if I'm trying to give people those tips, but yeah.
You need a walkie-talkie and a flashlight. Exactly. You can get to the front of any show if you just walk with a flashlight with purpose.
And a face that looks like you know what you're doing. That's all you need.
Right.
Those 3 things.
If you get caught, you're gonna look like an idiot.
Well, there is that.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is, if you get caught.
If you get caught, yeah.
Well, I want to play the big single right now, but you guys are going to hang out with me for a while, right? You're going to hang out? All right, so this is I Prevail Breaking Down. We'll be back with more. It's WAAF. That's Breaking Down. I Prevail here at WAAF. Eric and Dylan from I Prevail are joining me in the WAAF studio. And we were talking about Fenway and stuff. And then your record guy, who's from New York, what did he do? This morning, on his way to pick you guys up, took a picture of him flipping off Fenway Park because he's a diehard Yankees fan. See? It's not a joke. These things actually really happen. A lot of people on the text line are like, I would totally break into Fenway if I could. So, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I want to talk to you guys about the album Trauma because when I got to meet you, there was like this big radio, I don't know whose bright idea it was to bring like DJs from all the radio stations around the country into Vegas, give us copious amounts of alcohol and introduce us to bands. But that's how I met you. Uh-huh. And at the time, you guys were setting up Trauma. And so where did you record the album? Tell me about the record.
We recorded it with Tyler Smith and did some work with David Pramick and Eric Ron, but we primarily recorded out in just a cabin out in the woods in the middle of Michigan, up north actually. So just peace and quiet and a lot of screaming.
Yeah, see, some bands want to be completely secluded, and then other bands want to be immersed. Like they want to go to L.A., they want to be in the middle of Nashville, they want to be surrounded by everything. You guys work better when you're just out in the middle of nowhere.
It was, yeah, we We did the LA thing for the last record, then we ended up coming back home and doing it anyways with our old producer at his place, at his house, and back right where we did the, started everything. And this time around, we were like, we wanted to be far enough away where it was like kind of a too long to drive every day, but like not far enough where you like couldn't go home and recharge. So it was like once every other week we'd all take a 2-day break from it, but we just to be in it, no distractions. It's got two sides of the coin. One, you're in it, you're living with it, or you're just in it and you're like, I don't know if this is good anymore. I need some clarity. So it's nice to be able to step away, be a little close enough to civilization. But for the most part, we enjoyed that.
Well, plus when you're secluded in a cabin in the middle of the woods and there, is some kind of a fight over a guitar riff or a verse on a song or something, nobody will hear you kick each other's asses.
Right. I think it's just better, being out there, just because it's easier for us to kind of stay true to, the I Prevail sound that we envision, rather than going to like an LA or Nashville where you're going to have multiple people come in and be like, well, hey, what if we kind of put this touch on it? It was really important to us on Trauma to write it our way. Yeah.
Detroit seems like one of those places, like Boston, that when you're from there, it's a badge of honor. Everybody knows if you're from Detroit, you're from Detroit. I mean, obviously, you look at somebody like Eminem or Kid Rock or whatever. When you're from Detroit, with everything that's gone on with that city, what is it like now? Is there it seems like the perfect recipe for a lot of great rock and roll to kind of creep out of all of the crevices of that city right now.
I feel like, especially with rock, the mentality of just like, blue-collar, hard-working mentality, I think that comes out from Detroit and the suburbs of Detroit, just Michigan as a whole. Some of the bands that have come out of there, just there's something about like the whole underdog scenario or the whole like rise to the occasion kind of thing, where I think the Midwest and especially Michigan has that on lock,
And especially recently, just with all of the hard times that have gone through there, that it's the perfect place. I've been talking with a lot of bands, and I'll ask you guys the same question. Do you really feel like rock and roll is having a resurgence right now? Can you feel the pendulum shift?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you have certain bands that are trying new things with, electronic music in the background and still incorporating guitar, drum, bass, and things like that. Is kind of bringing a new rejuvenation into the sound, and also allowing vocals, kind of like how Eric does, especially played on the radio. Like that's a whole new thing that people haven't really fully accepted yet, and that brings so much emotion into a song. So yeah,
I think everything's cyclical, and when rock started, like rock's never dead.
It's never gone anywhere. No. They've been etching the headstone of rock and roll for 3 decades now.
Yeah. So it's when it seems to be sleeping, it takes a couple bands and a new wave of sound or a new trend. Just like there's the new metal, and then grunge and new metal. There's something that'll come and freshen it up, and that the bands that are still doing just the rock and roll, they're always going to be there. And at that point, those bands get bigger. When the new trend comes in, though, that new wave of bands is trying something different. They rise up. Everything's cyclical. Rock's on its way back up to the top again.
I want to play another song off of Trauma. So tell me about Hurricane.
Hurricane is just we put a music video out for it a month or two. Wow, it's been a couple months now.
2 months at least.
Yeah, where it was just kind of a visual summary of what's happened over the last year and a half, 2 years, 3 years now, between our last record and this record. The ups and downs of touring, we love touring. It's the greatest job we could have ever gotten. But you miss things like funerals, weddings,
your own bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not knowing where you're going to use the bathroom in the morning. So number one,
there's a bathroom right across the hall if you need one.
Sweet.
But so the whole song is just this whole life came so quick, and it hit like a hurricane, like the song said. It hits hard, and we didn't expect how the highs were going to be, but also how low the lows could be. And it's kind of a song that for us was just like, they're cathartic, when we were writing it, when we play it, like, when we're going through these difficult times where it's like, it's not always going to be like, hey, cheer up, it's always going to get better. It may not get better at this point in time, but just to keep pushing, keep trying, keep hunting, keep going.
Well, this is Hurricane I Prevail. We'll be back with more. It's WAAF. And it's Hurricane I Prevail here at WAAF. And Eric and Dylan from I Prevail joining me here in the WAAF studio tonight, headlining the House of Blues. And a lot of people texting in, not only about the story of you breaking into Fenway Park the last time. You didn't have bolt cutters, but you did weasel your way in there for your own private tour of Fenway Park. And just to somebody from the 508 texting in, I'm going to leave an upper decker at Yankee Stadium just to spite your record rep that's flipping off Fenway. And then somebody else texted in from the 347 that said, hey, I'm listening to you and the I Prevail guys on the radio. My wife called, heard your voice in the background, and wanted to know who the chick was that I had in my car. So to your wife, I'm totally sorry in case all of a sudden now you're shut off until, Labor Day weekend or whatever.
Yikes.
She thought you had another broad in the car. I wanted to talk to you guys. You put out a tweet saying that you were looking for I Prevail fans because you're filming a video tomorrow. Here. It said in the Boston, Manchester, New Hampshire area. So what's going on with the video? Can you say?
Filming a music video.
Yeah.
Song.
And you were looking for people, extras, to come out. I retweeted the tweet if anybody's listening and they want to try and get into the I Prevail video, which now you might get too many people.
I think we were looking for 40 or 50. We only knew, so a couple of us came up with an idea for the song and passed it on to the guy who's been doing the last few music videos, Ben Prue. And he wrote back this script of what's going to happen, treatment, and we're like, cool. And he had a couple details that we don't, we're going to be surprised when we see and excited.
So he's got surprises for you.
Yeah.
Like, there's parts of your own music video that you don't know what's going on.
That's
I think that's for like authenticity. Yeah, it's usually like we show up and we're like, oh, we're going to interact with this.
Like, the whole idea of it, and then all the details were like, oh, okay. Oh, wow, that's great. Yeah, that's great. So the whole, long story short, I think in the first day we were looking for 40 or 50 people, I think he said, and I think we had 500 emails. And we're like, holy hell.
New Englanders are very passionate about things that they love.
We love
All right,
that.
so I have two questions. One, you said, Ben, the video guy looks like Keanu Reeves. Like, how close? Because I have a Keanu Reeves thing, and he won't call me back because he's been hanging out with Halle Berry. So I just want to know if, he's the next best thing.
Well, he's like... Ben's a 10 out of 10 guy.
Really?
But he's a 7 out of 10 Keanu Reeves.
Oh,
and
right.
I hope he doesn't hear that because that's going to seem really mean. But I'm not saying you're a 7 out of 10, I wouldn't date you.
Right. It's just there can be only one Keanu.
Exactly.
He's like an in-between Adam Driver and Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
He's in the middle. He's a good-looking dude. I don't think he's single. If he's not and his girlfriend or wife's listening, she's like, you son of a...
Well, I just got that guy in trouble on the text line because his wife thought, so we might as well just blow up everyone's relationships
ruin everyone's
today.
relationships today.
And then the other question is, if I get a walkie-talkie, can I break into your music video? Can I just walk in like I belong there?
Watch, we're going to show, there's going to be 200 kids showing up with walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm supposed to be here. I'm here for the music video shoot.
We're going to get people trying to sneak onto the bus. It's just going to be rough.
Yeah. All right, so everybody that's listened to my show knows that I love cover songs because I love the stories behind them. I love when you can take a song that is just completely so far out of what the band would be and they cover it. So I have to ask you about the Taylor Swift cover because it was just in the news the other day that she has a house in Rhode Island. It's not far from here. And there was a guy that tried to break into her house with a crowbar and said that he had an appointment with Taylor. She was going to help his music career. And he was busted for felony break-in. I mean, we get a lot of Taylor Swift news because she's got a big mansion on the coast. So how did a Taylor Swift cover come about with I Prevail?
We just heard the first song. We're looking for something to get some attention, and I think that record was coming out. We heard a couple songs on it. We're like, oh, this one's sick. We can make this cool. And that was.
Did you ever get a reaction from her about that? Ever?
No.
Anything?
No.
I mean, she could be listening right now because she could be in Rhode Island right now.
She could. I mean, if she is, we're obviously really grateful for being able to really re-release a song like that
and pay her the royalties for covering the song, right?
You're welcome for helping you out on that down payment in your house.
Yeah, on the one in Rhode Island. You probably.
But if she is listening, she's probably also going, "It's a drop in the bucket, sweetie."
Yeah. Well, I love weird, strange cover songs, like I said, and so I couldn't let you guys come in here without playing this because when I first heard it, I didn't recognize that it was her song because it was so heavy compared to her version. And then afterwards I was like, okay, that's really kind of cool. So I wanted to play it. So this is I Prevail covering Taylor Swift. This is Blank Space. So the guys from I Prevail are here with me in the WAAF studio. That's their version of Blank Space. And I guess you're not going to play that tonight because you were just talking that you don't even remember the lyrics because you recorded it so long ago.
We haven't played, you start playing all the new songs. I don't have that great of a memory. I got to rehearse.
You forget current lyrics.
Yeah, it's happened before. Like, I'll just fill it in with a burp or something. Was it London?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in London, and Brian made me chug a beer, and we went to go play one of our songs where there's just this blech, and a burp had to come out at the same time. So there's a video out there of me just, like, belching.
Homer Simpson covers I Prevail. The next time you guys come up, because I had asked... And the next time you guys come up, will you come and play acoustic? Can you?
Yeah.
Are there ways to turn these songs acoustic? Can that happen?
It's definitely in the works.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can't guarantee that. I would love to.
You know, I'm recording you right now, so I'm going to use this audio against you the next time you come to town if you say no. So you're choosing your words very carefully.
So it requires two of the other guys who aren't here, who are very, very, very busy gentlemen.
Yeah, but, I'm sure. Still in bed at 1:45.
Yeah. But I would love to, so... Hopefully, we'll do our best.
All right. Well, the next time you come to town, just know that you're invited. We would love to have you come up and play in the studio.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll have to make something happen.
Yeah.
So you guys are playing tonight. What time do you go on, and who's playing with you tonight at the House of Blues?
We go on at 9:30, and we have Justin Stone opening up the show, and then we have Issues on after him, and then we go on.
All right. So you can go to WAAF.com, go to the concert page, the link, all the details on the show. Everything you need to know is up there. Thank you guys so much for coming in today.
Hey, thanks for having us.
You're welcome back anytime. As long as you're not wearing Yankees jerseys, you're good to go. And the next time that you break into Fenway, or maybe next time you're going to break into the Boston Garden, or maybe you'll go down to Foxborough and break into Gillette Stadium.
Okay, these are very incriminating words. I did not break in. You can't break in when the door's wide open.
Technically, according to the police, you can.
Well, there's no police there, are there?
Not right.
There's someone outside the door?
They're
What?
right outside the door.
Crap.
Oh, thank you so much, guys. We'll see you tonight at the show.
It sounds great.
Or we'll see you in jail. Either one.